So hello and welcome to the latest and probably very overdue episode of the WBBL Review. This is our long-running series, A Conversation With, and today we are joined by Caledonia star Sian Phillips. So welcome, Sian.
Thanks for having me.
How are you doing? Obviously, your season's been finished a few weeks. How have you been?
Good, yeah. It's been nice to relax a bit now that the season's over, and yeah, just chill.
So today I thought we'd just kind of take you right back to where it all began for you, and talk about, you've talked through your basketball journey, and then as always we've got some quick fire questions at the end, and I've actually put in a little quiz for you today, a WBBL themed Caledonia quiz, so that'll test you.
Okay, that's fun.
But let's as I say, let's go right back. Where are you from? Where were you born?
So I was born in Bristol in England, and then moved up to Scotland, to Edinburgh almost straight away, and then have been in Edinburgh ever since. And so in terms of basketball, I started playing when I was in primary school, so when I was about 12 years old. A few of my friends played in the school team, so I kind of thought, I really love sports, so I'll go along and give it a go. And then I just kind of fell in love with it and really enjoyed the game. And so I kind of had a friend that played in a club team in Edinburgh. So with her, I joined that and played in the National League in Scotland. So against other teams across Scotland. And I played in that league for quite a few years, for like a few different clubs in Edinburgh. And then when I was in my last year of high school, so when I was about 17, 18, that's when I started playing for Pride. So I got kind of asked to come along to try out one of the training sessions to see how I fitted in with that. And I was kind of blown away by the intensity and how often the trainings were, and just the massive change in level. So it was a bit scary at first, but I kind of thought I better give this a go, it could be good. So yeah, my first year with Pride was tough. I didn't get a lot of minutes, and it was like just a big step up. And then that was 5 years ago. So then ever since then, I've kind of been playing in the WBBL for Pride, and yeah, enjoying every year.
So you said you started playing in primary school. Is your family a basketballing family, or have you just kind of stumbled upon that due to the friends you were talking about?
Yeah, I mean, my dad played a bit when he was younger, but I wouldn't say it like I was kind of pushed in that direction at all. I kind of just happened, and I guess my family has always kind of been involved in sports, so that kind of aspect was quite comfortable to me. And then team sports as well, like I'd played football in the past, which kind of was a nice transition over to basketball. But yeah, it just fit well with me.
So you mentioned football there. Is there any other sports that kind of, when you were younger, growing up, took your fancy?
Yeah, I did a bit of athletics and swimming, which kind of led into triathlon. So I did that for a couple of years, which was so tough. Yeah, I don't know how people do that one, but so yeah, glad that's not me anymore. But
so kind of what other talents do you have outside of basketball? So when you were growing up, or now, what kind of things do you get up to kind of outside the basketball world?
Well, obviously academically I do maths at uni, so I enjoy a bit of that. Do enjoy maths. And then I played the flute actually for a while when I was at high school. Didn't last long, but I did enjoy it. So but yeah.
Eva, she's learning the cello at the minute, and it was the violin last year. I don't know if it's going to last very long, but hey, musical talents.
Yeah, try it out at least.
Yeah. So you mentioned that step into the WBBL when you were 17, 18. Kind of, how did you overcome that first season? You said it was tough. You didn't play many minutes. The step up was quite intense. How did you deal with that, and how did you then move forward the next season?
So, I mean, the teammates I had were very good, and there was a couple of other people my kind of level and age. So that was very helpful for me to not feel so isolated in it. Like there was other people around me going through the same thing. So that helped a lot, obviously. And then it was just kind of I thought of sticking with it and, like believing in what you were doing was the right thing, like trusting the process. So yeah, it was just the people around me and having that internal motivation to kind of stick with it.
So fast forward, say 4 or 5 years, as you say, the season just gone, quite a successful season for Caledonia. How would you describe the kind of the team season overall?
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of ups and downs, a lot of changes, and we started off struggling a bit, kind of not quite being consistent across our games, and yeah, just not finding our feet almost. But we kind of knew that we had something there, and it was just trying to like figure it all out and see what worked for us. So it was a lot of trying new things and yeah, just seeing like what we could get. And then obviously we had Taylor and Lakin join us halfway through, which was also quite like a big change as well, to kind of fit in to like two new players into like our system and what we'd been building. So that took a lot of adjustment as well. And then finally, after a bit of time, we kind of started connecting and clicking together, and that's when it kind of started improving and we were like getting those wins and stuff. So definitely kind of started from the bottom, and then we were just kind of made our way up there.
Yeah, I was kind of looking through the fixtures today just when I was kind of prepping this. Obviously, the cup games first up. What do you think of that little format of the cup games all being in that sense? Well, it was you, Durham, and Newcastle across that weekend. What did you make of that format?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun because it was just a weekend, and you can kind of fit a lot of games into it. And obviously, like local teams is always fun as well. You kind of get used to them. But yeah, I enjoyed that definitely to start the season. It was a nice way to kind of ease into the league. Like not games that were actually league games, but kind of tournament style was fun.
Well, as you say, a tough start for Caledonia. Apart from beat Newcastle in the league early on, but the first few months of the season were pretty tough. How did you manage to stick together as a team?
Yeah, I mean, we the players we had played together the last season, so we all knew each other quite well, and we kind of just sticked with it for each other. And also knowing that we did have potential, and we just had to kind of figure it out, and yeah, just help each other and be supportive, and just believe in each other to know that eventually we will get there. So yeah.
So I remember being at those games in the cup weekend, and I just remember how loud your bench was. Just like incredibly, even when you were 30 points down at one stage, just incredibly supportive, incredibly loud. Like it must make a difference when you're that kind of together as a team.
Yeah, our bench is always amazing, and it kind of starts with Louisa, who I think has only played a couple of games due to injury, but she's always there on the bench, being like the loudest, and a few times almost getting technicals. But that's exactly what we need, and that's how it all starts. So yeah, the bench has always got good energy.
Looking at your own personal season, 14 points, 7, nearly 8 rebounds, 2 assists. What do you make of your own personal season?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely enjoyed it. And I think, again, like the whole team, it was a bit of adjustment and changes and stuff, which is always tough as a team, and then also individually as well, like finding what your place in the team is and like knowing your role. And so I think once the team settled down and everyone, like I kind of settled into that as well. But yeah, I was happy. I had a good time, and yeah, there was lots of challenges, but that was kind of all part of it. Yeah, it was fun.
Something people don't see a lot of is the books competition that run for the universities. Obviously, you were part of the Edinburgh team. The player. What was that kind of experience like for you?
Yeah, Bucks is really fun, kind of alongside the WBBL, because the games are kind of a lot more low key, and you see quite a few familiar faces, but then you also have like new ones, and so there's a lot of little differences. And we have a very small team for Bucks. We only have like 6 or 7 players, so it's like a lot of game time. But it's definitely fun. Yeah. I enjoy box a lot.
Yeah, the quarter final that you lost against Durham, I think you only had five. I think five. I think it was the full 40 for all of you, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, that
Uh,
game was intense.
so talking about, you mentioned local teams. I'm not sure Caledonia have any local teams. It seems like a journey every week for you. How do you find the long journeys?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because over the years you just get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, yep, an 8 hour drive, let's do it. And it's just kind of part of a habit. Uh, so you just make sure you've got stuff to do and it kind of passes if you don't think about it.
It must be 7-8 hours to London at least.
Yeah,
Yeah. Whoa.
yeah,
No good. That's
no.
again, talking about this season, you guys were involved in the big one at Newcastle, where there was over 1,000 fans there. Kind of talk us through that experience.
Mhm. Yeah, the atmosphere in there was amazing. And we had a bunch of supporters that had come from Edinburgh as well. So to have them there and then the massive crowds, it felt really special to be a part of that. Because that's kind of the biggest crowd that I've played in, like having that many people at a women's game. And it was also competitive as well, which was great, to give the fans that as well. And hopefully, that we can like build on that and have more games like that in the future, because playing like in an atmosphere like that was very special.
I mean, you didn't have to spoil the party though. You didn't have to take the win.
Well, we had to do it for our fans that were there.
So the year before was obviously a COVID season where no fans were in the ground. Kind of what differences have you noticed this season with having the fans back in for the away games, for home games? Because Scotland's restrictions have eased a bit later, haven't they? So even Caledonia didn't have fans towards the start of this season. What differences have you noticed?
Yeah, just having the fans. I think it was almost without the fans. It's almost like no one's watching, and there's almost no pressure in a way. And then as soon as the fans come back in, I think that's when people can kind of get a bit nervous, and there's actually people there watching you, and it's not like through a screen. So I think nerves definitely for players come into play when you've got a bigger crowd. But then when it's a home crowd, like the atmosphere is great and it kind of gives a lot of energy. So that was the difference that I noticed for that.
In the playoffs, beat Sheffield in the quarterfinals. That was a big win for Caledonia to get in the semi-final. Obviously, then came up against London, which isn't easy for anyone. But again, how would you sum up the season for Caledonia, and where do you see Caledonia going next year?
Yeah, so it was a good ending to, because Pride has never got that far in the playoffs before. So that was our main goal, to win that first game against Sheffield, and that was a very good game for us to just get that done. That was a good feeling. And then playing London in the semi-finals was at the Copper Box was like pretty cool as well. Yeah, and unfortunately we didn't get the win, but I think what we kind of showed was that we can be in that top four, like those top four teams, and compete with them as well. And London are a very good team, and so we made a lot of mistakes, and they're going to like punish you for that every time. So, but just to show that we can be up there is important for Pride. Yeah.
So let's get to know your teammates a little bit better. Then I've got some questions for you, and you've got to pick someone from your team. You can pick yourself if you think it's yourself. You can pick yourself, yeah.
Okay.
You might get in trouble with this one. So who would you say the best out and out shooter was in your team?
Is this 3-point shooter?
Or do both. Do 2-point and 3-point.
I mean, we have a lot of good shooters. I know that Zoe had a very high percentage.
Okay.
I think she ended up on 40 something percentage. She was telling me the other day. So
making sure you knew.
I'll go with Zoe. She was a very had a good percentage.
45% from 3-point now.
Mm-hmm.
That's Zoe's not bad that. Who do you think is the funniest to have around the dressing room?
There's a lot of funny characters for sure. I'll probably have to go with Sophie and Elise for that one.
Okay. Who has got the best fashion sense?
Mm, that's a hard one because I just see everyone in their basketball kits all the
Oh,
time.
fair enough. Fair enough. Who's most likely to forget a play?
Um,
Come on, it's time to
well,
dish the dirt now. Come on.
I'm trying to think. No, I can't. I can't say.
Okay, we'll go with who has the worst taste in music?
I'd say everyone's taste is pretty good, and it's quite like specific to everyone. But I know that Bart doesn't like our music, so by that logic, I think I'd have to go with Bart.
Fair enough. What do you listen to music in the dressing room before matches, or do you all have?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your go-to songs?
Um, we just have a speaker, and it's maybe a bit of kind of like hip hop, Drake, that kind of vibe.
Do you know what, basketball always go for Drake, don't they? Drake's just
Yeah,
the stock.
it's like easy option, isn't it?
So I've got some questions now. Like it's like a Pride quiz of the year. Just like who was top scorer, who's top for
Okay.
the Pride squad. So in the championship, who finished as top scorer for Caledonia?
Was this points total?
Yeah, points. Just total
Was it
points.
Lincoln?
It wasn't. Lakin was second. It was someone who scored more points than Lakin.
Was it me?
It was you, yes.
Oh.
342 points in the season. Lakin had 296.
Yeah, and she started
Probably.
halfway through as well, so that makes sense.
Who finished the championship with most assists for Pride?
Was that Lincoln?
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Taylor?
Yeah, Taylor Edwards it was.
Mm.
She had, how many was it? 88.
Good job, Taylor.
Mm-hmm. She was incredible at that Newcastle game. The big one that we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Who finished with the most rebounds?
Was it me?
No, you had the most offensive rebounds, if that counts.
Okay, Lincoln?
No, it was Maud.
Oh, good job, Maud.
215. Plenty.
Decent.
And last question for the quiz. Top points scored in one match for Caledonia this season. Bonus points if you can tell who it was against.
Was it Lincoln against Essex?
I mean, I'll check, but I meant team. Like the full team.
Oh,
I will
as a
check
team.
that one though. That's a great answer if that's right.
Was it Gloucester?
Yes.
And how many points did we score?
Yeah. Go on.
109.
Oh, that's spot on. What a way to finish the quiz of the year. Absolutely spot on. Now I've got some quick fire questions for you, just to get to know you a little bit better. Things that maybe aren't part of the basketball court, but there are some basketball ones in here as well. So we'll start with a nice easy one. McDonald's or KFC?
Neither.
No fast food at all, or just not McDonald's, KFC? None at all.
No.
Favorite Netflix series?
Oh, that's good. The Office.
The American or the English?
American, but the English one's good as well. Yeah.
No, I do like the American one.
Mm-hmm.
So Lakin James, when I was talking to her early on the season, said she was trying to visit as many coffee shops in Edinburgh as possible, and she had a list of like 30, I think, at the time. Would you prefer tea or coffee?
That's a hard one, but I think I'll go with tea. I think that's a staple in my life, so I'll go with tea.
Fair enough. What is your favourite squad number, and why is that your favourite?
Like what number I'd like to play?
Yeah, jersey number. I always say
5.
squad number, jersey number.
Yeah, 5.
And why did you play in 5?
Well, I was born, my date of birth is the 5th. So, and then also I think because the start of my name is an S, and like a digital 5 is like an S as well. So
okay, that's a good reason. Normally people just say, well, because I do. just what happens. Favorite Disney film?
I've not watched Disney in a long time, but probably The Lion King, to be honest.
Do you like the new one,
Some good songs.
the live action remake?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's good. The songs are good.
So something that really annoys you, that, do you know that program Room 101, when you put something that really annoys you, what would you put in there? Something that bugs you.
Long fingernails.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I think that's a lot of people would say that, yeah. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
not a fan.
Next one's a good one. What is your favorite type of pasta and why?
Oh, like shape.
Yeah.
Ooh. The ribbon one, the little one in ribbons.
Okay.
It's just quite cute.
Fair enough. Has that got an Italian name, the ribbon one? Someone will have
Yeah.
to comment and tell us what the Italian name is.
Mhm.
What is your best moment on court in your kind of years and years and years of playing basketball? What is your best moment?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think I think when I was playing in the National League, our playoff final when I was under 18,
Okay.
I think that game like was my kind of best moments on court.
Okay. Would you have pineapple on a pizza?
Yeah.
Good answer. What's your game day routine like? Is there anything that you have to do every game day?
No, I think I'm pretty chill. Just kind of show up and get my stuff on and then play.
Who's your favorite basketballer ever? It could be someone you've played with. It could be someone from the WNBA. It could be someone that we've never heard of. But who is your favorite basketballer ever?
I'll go with Maella on our team.
Okay.
I've been playing with her for a while, and she's my number one.
Sorted. Something we didn't talk about before, which I've completely forgot about, is the 3x3 basketball.
Mhm.
And obviously Scotland qualified in that tournament not long ago. What was that like? Because I guess that's pretty new to you. What was that experience like?
Yeah, so that was my first time playing in that format, the 3x3. So I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but I really enjoyed it, and just the physicality of it. Because normally I kind of get into foul trouble a bit in 5v5, and just have that free reign to kind of do what you want, I loved. And it was just a great experience doing the qualifying tournament with the fans and representing Scotland. So yeah, I'm excited for playing that in the future.
So is that Commonwealth Games coming up? Is there a squad announcement? Is how does that work with Scotland?
Yeah, I think that's gonna come soon. Because we had the team for the qualifying, and then there'll be a team for the Commonwealth Games. But we've got training and stuff coming later in the summer, so we'll see how that goes.
That'd be exciting.
Yeah,
Look forward to the Scotland-England match for that one.
definitely.
Sian, I really appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on and talking to us so we can get to know you a bit better and get to kind of talk about Caledonia's season. Just for everyone else, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe and things like that. But I just want you to finish on with finishing this sentence. I love basketball because
because I love the competitiveness of it and the people that you meet.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, and good luck for next year and the Commonwealth if what's happening. So yeah, really enjoyed talking to you, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you so much.